In the year 988, every god of the Slavs was executed. Every single one, except an old woman. While idols burned and priests rewrote the world, she stayed exactly where she had always been, deep in the forest. No church council condemned her. No chronicle records her death, because she hid where no priest would ever look. She hid inside bedtime stories, told by grandmothers to children for 1,000 years. Her name is Baba Yaga. You may know her as a fairy tale witch, but she is older than the fairy tales. Older, perhaps, than gods. Tonight, we follow her into the forest, to a hut that stands on chicken legs and turns to face its visitors. Around that hut stands a fence of human bones. On every post a skull, and one post always waits empty. This is not a story about a witch. It is a story about the border between the living and the dead. And about why, of all the beings of the old faith, only its gatekeeper was the one who survived. To understand her, you first have to understand what the old Slavs saw when they looked at a forest. To a Slavic villager, the forest was not scenery. It was the land of the dead, beginning where fields ended. Cross that line, and you left the world of the living. The deep woods belonged to spirits, ancestors, and her. The tales describe her precisely. A bony leg, iron teeth, a nose so long it touches the ceiling when sleeping. One leg of bone, because half of her already belongs to the world of the dead. She stands in both realms. She flies in a mortar, rowing the air with a pestle, sweeping away her tracks behind her with a broom. And here is the strangest detail of all. She cannot see the living, she cannot hear them, only smell them. Foo, she says in the tales, I smell a living soul. To her, the living stink, as the dead stink to us. Folklorists noticed what that means. The tales describe her from the other side. She is dead, we are the intruders. 3 riders serve her. A white rider, a red rider, and a black rider. The dawn, the sun, the night. A children's villain does not command daylight and darkness. Those are the servants of something much, much older. In 1946, a Soviet folklorist named Vladimir Prop published a dangerous idea about what she really was. Prop compared hundreds of Russian wonder tales and found the same skeleton in nearly all of them, again and again. A hero leaves home, reaches a hut at the forest's edge, faces a test, and returns transformed, carrying a gift. The hut, Prop argued, is a gate, the checkpoint between the world of the living and the world of the dead. That is why it stands turned away, and why the hero must ask it to turn its back to the forest. Baba Yaga is the border guard. She questions travelers, feeds them, bathes them, and decides who may pass onward. Feeding and bathing. In Slavic ritual, exactly what you did for the dead. The hero is processed like a corpse. Those who pass her tests return with magic. Fire, a horse, wisdom. Those who fail feed the fence another skull. In the tale of Vasilisa, a girl is sent to the witch for fire and comes home carrying a burning skull. The fire destroys her tormentors. She was sent to die in the forest. She returned as something no one could touch. Here is where the story leaves fairy tale and enters history, because Prop believed these tales remembered something real. Across the ancient world, tribes initiated their young the same way. Send them into the wild to die, symbolically. The child walked into the forest, met death in the shape of a masked elder, endured trials, and returned adult. Prop read Baba Yaga as the fossil of those rites, the elder at the threshold, the priestess of symbolic death. The tales even preserve the fear. Children who heard them were being told, "One day the forest will test you." And the hut itself, real buildings stood on legs in the northern forests, and you can still find them today. Siberian hunters built storehouses on cut tree stumps, roots spread like claws, no windows, no doors, safe from bears. And some northern Slavs buried their dead above ground, in little log houses raised on posts, houses for the dead. A windowless house on bird legs, holding the dead deep in the forest. Sound familiar? The hut was never invented. It was remembered. The fairy tale is a map of real places and rituals, redrawn by 1,000 years of retelling. Then came Christianization and the great forgetting we saw in the fall of Perun. Gods were renamed or drowned. But nobody drowned Baba Yaga. When Lomonosov listed the old Slavic beings in 1755, something odd happened. Every god received a Roman equivalent. Perun was matched with Jupiter. Baba Yaga stood alone, with no equivalent at all. The scholars could not classify her. Not quite a goddess, not quite a demon, not quite anything they knew. Even her name resists us. Baba means grandmother. Yaga? Linguists still argue horror, illness, the hag, the ship. For 2 centuries, scholars kept trying to solve her. Afanasiev said storm cloud. Others said moon, crow, Mother Earth. Each theory held one piece. None held her. She slips every net, exactly the way a border spirit should. And while the scholars argued, she did what she had always done. She survived in the mouths of grandmothers. My first spoke by a tick-soffered Enderlai. The church could burn an idol, it could rename a god, but it could not confiscate a bedtime story. The most powerful hiding place in history turned out to be a children's tale. Hidden in plain sight, guarded by love. Afanasiev wrote her down in the 1850s, in collections that did for the Slavs what Grimm did for Germany. From those pages she conquered the world. Paintings, operas, ballets. Mussorgsky gave her hut its own movement of music. Today she is everywhere. An assassin's nickname in cinema, a boss in video games, 100 novels wear her name. But pop culture keeps only her teeth. The tales kept something better. Her terrifying, magnificent, unresolvable ambiguity. In one tale, she eats children. In the next, she saves them. Same hut, same bone leg, same iron teeth. That is not sloppy storytelling. That is theology. Death is neither cruel nor kind. It simply guards its border. Perhaps that is why she survived when the gods did not. Thunder can be replaced. The border of death cannot. Somewhere in the oldest part of every forest, the tales say, a hut still waits, turning slowly on its legs. And if you ever find it, remember the rules. Speak the formula, accept the food, and never lie to her. The Slavs kept darker things than witches. Next time, the man who hid his own death inside an egg. Koche,